Why do great listeners make poor team players? Talk to me.
Yeah, okay. So I nurture a customer, someone thinking of selling their house as a valuer, as a lister, whatever we call ourselves these days. Shouldn't call us either, by the way, marketeer. And I go out and I build the relationship with the vendor, hopefully in an almost intimate way, because at the end of the day, the decision to instruct is based on that relationship fundamentally.
They choose the one they like the most.
They do, yeah. The brand, I've always said, the brand gets you in the door, but the person gets it back. There is, in my world, there's no two ways about it.
100% agree on that.
So it's fair to say that the valuer, lister, marketeer, gets very, very close with the vendor, really understands their circumstances, their situation. Obviously, sees the property in quite a lot of detail. We'll be spending longer in that property than any of the negotiators may do. And then they come back to the office, and then the level of information given back to who will be responsible for selling the property, the negotiators, isn't there. Not what I see and not what I've seen. And not what I've heard and all the travels I've made.
Because you've been big director for Countrywide, Foxtons, LSL, your move, and now you are kind of like a consultant, but you actually go in and value.
I do it, yeah, I do.
So you are on the front line. You're not some guy in an ivory tower.
No, not at all.
And you think that is a big weakness, that the gap between what the value, how good the value is, and how almost passing the baton on.
If you think about the customer, the vendor's reliance, the decision to instruct is based on the value and the personality. Yes. However, the next key moment in that person's life, and let's face it, this is someone selling a house normally linked to a major moment in their life, good or bad, but it's a major moment nonetheless. So their reliance on the agency business to help them move is immense. And I think sometimes that message between those two key functions, the valuer and the negotiating team, is not as detailed as it should be. Because it's all managed on numbers, isn't it? So, and then
very transactional.
Very transactional, rather than relationship, rather than working on the relationship. We're not selling someone's house; we're helping them move. There's a big difference between the two.
That's exactly what Peter Knight said to me in an interview recently.
Oh, did it?
Word for word.
He probably heard it from me first, anyway. But anyway, sorry, Peter. He didn't. So it's very much about that, isn't it? And so I question sometimes. Can I give you an example?
Go for it.
We are sitting here on Monday, Saturday. I'm interested in some buy-to-let properties. Now, if you're an estate agent and you market a house saying ideal buy-to-let, okay, and I call you or I email you and saying, what is the potential yield on this property? How quickly could this be let? That inquiry is going to be handled by the sales team. The sales team need to know that, and they don't know that. And the failure by not knowing that means that the valuer probably knows it, but he hasn't shared that type of critical information with the frontline negotiators. So who loses out? First of all, the vendor, because they're not going to secure an appointment from me. And secondly, me, I'm frustrated now. I'm now thinking, this agent aren't any good. No, I need them because I need the property. But once I secure it, they're not going to let it for me.
Just for one basic thing.
Just for one basic thing.
What's the rent? What's the yield?
Now that could be and of course I won't name the agency, but if that valuer in that agency had actually done that part of the job, I forgive you. You need to check with your staff. But when I contact the staff, they'd have no idea about the detail of that property when they're marketing it as a buy-to-let investment potential.
Do you think a lot of agents rush to get the property on the market on Rightmove when in reality probably 24 hours just take a step back, talk to the team, get the negs involved?
100%. So one of the key lessons I learned at Foxtons was about marketing property. It was about why get the internet, Rightmove, websites, etc., is a supporting tool in the bag of marketing that you have, like a toolkit. Yeah?
It's an important tool.
It's a very, very important tool. However, if you have somebody, as an estate agent, you will have people on your database or your CRM system that you have said, I'll call you first. So don't rush to put it on Rightmove. We used to take 72 hours. It was during the first week. However, it was not the first thing we did. The first thing we did whilst we prepared a killer presentation, marketing, advertising, was to get on the phone and ring people and not stop until we got hold of those people. Then we posted it on Rightmove and our website to drive further interest. And during the first 2 weeks of that period, we then made contact with the owner to have a discussion on the back of the result. So there is definitely, it's what I call post and pray again. It's rush back to the office, get it on Rightmove, and pray we get some viewings and some activity.
Do you think a lot of people put it on Rightmove so they can put 2 Vs up at their competition? I've got the list.
I think it's kind of that definitely has to play a part, doesn't it? It's kind of like, now it's on Rightmove, you have no choice. You can't tout me now. You've got no chance. Not for the next 2 weeks.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think absolutely right. Definitely.
Let's talk about this in greater detail in another video.
Happy to.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Bob.